The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Leadership Talks. It's a weekly webcast from Security Systems News. My name is Paul Ragusa. I'm the editor for the publication. I'm very excited to have Steve Jones. He's the CEO of Allied Universal. Hey, Steve, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and before we dive into the questions, I know most people are pretty familiar with the company, but can you just kind of give us a quick overview of Allied Universal?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Allied Universal is the largest man-guarding security company in North America. We service really all vertical markets across the security sector. We do both armed and unarmed security professionals, although probably 85 to 90% of our security professionals are unarmed. In addition to the man guarding services that we provide to our clients, again all across all the different verticals, as well as every geographic market, and that's literally all 50 states. It's Canada, it's Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. We also have a electronic security systems division where we do your typical systems integration work, where we're designing and installing and servicing technology products into our customers' locations, such as access control systems, cameras, alarm systems, etc. In addition to that, we also have built a state-of-the-art remote video monitoring center right outside of Dallas, Texas, which we call our Monitoring Response Center, where we manage and use video analytics to monitor video feeds from customers literally around the country, and offer that as on a software as a service subscription basis. So that's really an overview of the company. Today we have about 160,000 employees, and our revenues are right around $5.6 billion. And as I'm sure we'll get into, we've just recently announced another acquisition, which will change those numbers quite a bit, but we can talk about that when we get to it.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks for the overview. Now, what I like about the company, it's interesting. You've taken a traditional guarding company, and you've really brought in a lot of technology and into that whole kind of strategy. Can you talk a little bit about that evolution and how you're marrying technology today with traditional guarding?
Yeah, absolutely. So it really started back in 2000. We saw, the question was, I get asked this question all the time. Are we getting feedback? Sorry.
A little bit of feedback there.
Yeah, I'm getting. Let me turn off my computer. So I think I've got both of these going. Just one second here.
No problem.
Is that better? No. Hang on.
No, not yet.
Sorry. I'm just going to shut this down. Okay, how's that?
Yeah,
perfect. All right, sorry. I had the webinar going, and I had you on telephone. So it really started back in 99, 2000. The question started to arise with regards to security systems, electronic security systems, and mainly, the sophistication of where access control systems were going, utilizing cameras to monitor and really control ingress and egress through cameras, card access systems, and really voice control, right? And could you do that at a building? And there was a company out there that was out trying to sell this, which was called Castle Systems, and to say you can eliminate security officers. And so we felt pretty strongly that technology wasn't going to be a disruptor to our business, but it was going to be something that enhances our business. And what we decided to do, though, is we said, look, technology is here to stay, and it's certainly something that our customers are going to continue to ask us about, and we need to become the foremost experts in it. And quite frankly, the only way you're going to do that is to get in the business. And so we went out and built a team of experienced technology experts from various different companies, and built out our own systems integration business, and grew that here in our footprint, our Southern California footprint. And that really started again back in 2000. And as we predicted, technology on our side, it hasn't been the disruptor that people asked the question if it was going to be, meaning it wasn't Netflix to Blockbuster, right? So the video stores didn't go out of business, but it really truly has been an enhancement. And as the listeners know, and as you well know, our security professionals deal with very sophisticated technology products each and every day. Now, much more so than just your traditional camera systems and card access systems. I mean, we're managing security operations centers. A lot of those, globally, where we're managing. We're looking at threats against enterprises. We're looking at situational awareness events, things that are going on in and around facilities, using that data, making decisions with that data. So, we think, again, the technology evolution in our business is a positive. We're very embracing of it. We think it brings value to our customers and our overall service.
Yeah, and I know from our prior conversations, you're employing some pretty cool technology in your monitoring and response center, for example. I know you even, I think you collaborated with some developers, right, to create your own kind of software. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we're using, from emergency preparedness and situational awareness, we're using a multitude of different products that are available out there through many partners, TX360, Planet Risk, and several others. We also wanted to create a platform for our customers that really focused on just kind of that social media, managing and monitoring kind of the dark web and the web for really threats against people or the enterprise. We were originally going to create this product ourselves. We looked at hiring a couple of developers out of the Silicon Valley. We ultimately partnered with a firm and created a product called ThreatMinder. And again, it's for you've got your kind of large software risk analysis programs out there that really function very well in the Fortune 200, Fortune 500, kind of Fortune 1000 customers. But then you've got a whole host of other customers that we provide services to that don't have the same overall needs, but threats against their business or their enterprise or their key leadership is important. And so that's really where ThreatMinder came in. We've made significant investments either through our joint ventures ourselves or with partners to be able to provide a suite of services to our customers that really is an evolution in security. It's not just cameras and alarm systems and card access systems. It's way beyond that.
Yeah, and another area that you're embracing is robotics, which I think is very smart, especially in the guarding space where there's obviously some responsibilities and duties that would be much better suited to a robot, for example, areas that could be unsafe or I know you could tell me about several good applications, but can we get into the use of robotics, especially kind of supplementing the guarding elements that you deal with?
Yeah, absolutely. We partnered with several different partners there. We don't manufacture our own, so we're working with some of the largest providers there, Nightscope, RAD, a handful of others, and we really we've actually went out and we test piloted robotics nationally in a variety of different customers, and really the goal was to see where the best uses for that technology was, and where the greatest outcomes for our customers would be. And so we created case studies in literally almost every vertical market. So, I mean, believe it or not, we tried it in front of commercial office buildings. We put them in retail malls, manufacturing industrial facilities, various commercial properties, healthcare facilities. So, I think, what we've been able to identify is there absolutely is a certain niche market in almost every vertical. There's a handful of verticals I'd say it's probably not a great case study as of yet. What I would say to that is, as you know, and the listeners know, is technology is continuing to evolve. And if it's not a great case study today, it doesn't mean it's not going to be a great case study tomorrow. It just means that there's probably more of an evolution that needs to happen on the technology side. But there certainly today is applications where robotics can be used, and you can supplement either a security professional's post, or use security staff elsewhere while you use robotics, whether it's out patrolling a parking facility, or a large industrial warehouse or distribution facility. I mean, there's areas there that using a human manpower to do that can absolutely be done with a robot. Again, subject to some other factors, right? Having the ability to have people respond when an emergency situation takes place, because clearly the robot is not capable of doing that. And having someone again kind of monitor and really manage and assess all the data that's being collected from that robotic technology. So again, there's what we see is with the implementation of robots, there still is a tremendous need for the human factor, and it's more in the response side and the analysis and determination of what to do with that. Now, there's a big push going on with artificial intelligence, and we're actually have been making some major investments in that. And that's one of the areas that we think will be a wave of the future in this industry, which is on all the data that we collect, being able to use technology to be able to analyze that data and help us get to what we should be doing quicker, faster, more efficiently, and more effectively. So.
Yeah, that's a really cool area. I'm excited to see where we go with that within security, obviously. And I'm just curious, are you actually deploying robots today? Then are you using them? I know you
Yes.
had some cases.
Yeah, no, we've got about 2 or 3 dozen of them out around the country, and at one time we probably had 50 or 60 of them again in test mode. So we've got we've got 160,000 officers, and we've probably got 35 robots, but it's early on.
Okay. And how about drones? Is that something that is on the radar?
Drones absolutely are on the radar. We're continuing to. Sorry, I keep having this issue with my computer coming back on. Okay, drone. We're working with a variety of different drone manufacturers. There's some challenges right now, obviously, with drones, as kind of just making sure that we understand what the future FAA regulations are going to be for the use of drones. There's the current kind of flight time and having the drone having to come back and recharge on a pad, and so it's kind of what you can do with it. Again, there's also a human element there, right? Is to manage that drone and to again, if the data that's captured when the drone is actually in the air and capturing information, who's analyzing that information and what are they doing with it, and who's responding to it. So But yes, it's something that we're absolutely on top of. I think that's still in the very, very early innings. I'd say robotics and drones are still in the real early innings of future use in our industry. But it's coming.
All right, good. That's good to hear. And I did want to talk about, the acquisitions. I know you made a big one with U.S. Security Associates. That's a real good deal for you. And then we can maybe talk about some other ones as well. But can you talk about what that means for you, the U.S. Security Associates deal?
Yeah, so with the U.S. Security deal, which was announced about 30 days ago, really, it does a couple of things for us. It increases our footprint throughout North America. To include Canada. It gives us some more international exposure, some more international operations throughout Central America, and really the big one is in the UK. We really view it as an opportunity to continue to bolster our operations within the U.S. Additionally, there's a consulting and investigative division, which we were looking at starting one of those operations, one of those divisions within our organization, and so there's the consulting and investigation division that we can roll out to our existing customers, which we get asked for on a pretty consistent basis. And then U.S. Security, had been investing time, energy, and financial resources into their handheld technology. Each company had their own. We've had a product that we've developed, we owned, it's patented, called SICOP. We feel it's in the security management, security officer management, and information and reporting technologies. We feel it's really the best in the industry. One of the things U.S. Security was doing is they were trying to take that technology, but then add an element of artificial intelligence to analyze the data. So we think that they were onto something there, and we're excited to get an opportunity to take that element of their product and really put the two products together to create what we think will really be a best-in-class product, and something that the industry really has yet to see. So we're excited about that. There's also their event staffing business, which again is a space that we've looked at over the years of getting in. And if you look at our footprint, being in all 50 states, and with the number of officers that we have and will have, our headcount goes from 160,000 to 210,000. It's a pretty large security force to be able to deploy to events, but also if a situation arises where there's an emergency crisis somewhere, such as the hurricanes that we had last year in Houston and in Florida and Puerto Rico. So if you look at the amount of resources that we'll have now to really deploy to emergency situations, it really again strengthens our platform. So we're very, very excited about it, and we think it's a nice natural fit within the organization.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier, is there another acquisition that you were referring to earlier?
Another acquisition? No, that was this one, the big one, U.S. Security, where again our employee headcount goes from 160,000 to 210 with the addition of their 50,000 security professionals.
Yeah, and that must be there's going to be obviously a transitional period or to acclimate and get everyone the two companies merged. Is that going to be a big process, I would imagine?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're I don't want to say we're perfect at it, because it's always a lot of work, but I think we've demonstrated over the years that we've got a tremendous amount of experience in successfully integrating companies into Allied Universal. we've done 6 acquisitions since the merger of Allied Universal. This is truly an acquisition. We're excited. The field and the customer facing individuals. It's our goal and our strategy to keep that infrastructure intact. So we think it'll be good for the customers. And again, we think it adds additional depth and resources to both companies and both companies' customers that make it a benefit. But yeah, I mean, look, we've got a very detailed integration plan. We've got a integration management office that's fully set up and operated independently with over a dozen individuals managing each and every work stream. So we've got it down to a science. You just got to execute on it.
All right, great. Well, Steve, 20 minutes is up. That went by fast, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, and I apologize for some of the audio issues earlier on.
No problem. All right, thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you. Bye.